Hello YouTube and welcome to your 9th PHP video tutorial. And in this tutorial we will be working with arrays. Hopefully in this lesson we'll be able to cover numeric arrays and associative arrays. Now what an array is you remember how I told you that a variable was a box? Well, imagine an array as a box, or better yet, imagine an array as a bigger box that can hold more information, so it can hold more than one value inside of this box. So, to give you a better idea what I'm talking about, let's go ahead and make an array. So, to make an array, first let's name an array. Let's name our array names. And let's make sure PHP knows it's going to be an array. So we would set array, and we would end it like so, and now we have an array. So let's start giving our array values. So to start, you simply make two quotations, either double or single quotes, and start giving information. For this array, we'll have names. So after your quotations, you're going to have a comma between each value. So for right now, we have Tony. And one more second, let me turn down my TV a little bit. We have Tony for this first one. We have Josh for the second one. And let's do a third one. For the third one, we'll have Kenny. And as you can see, each value is separated by a comma. Now, how would you go by echoing or grabbing the data inside of this array? Well, I told you this array that we're using is a numeric array. So there would be number data somewhere, right? Number value somewhere, right? So let's show you how you would get this data now. Arrays, you have to start with 0 when using a number. So you could imagine Tony would be the first value inside of names. Josh would be the second, but that's not how it works. With an array, Tony would be value 0, Josh would be value 1, and Kenny would be value 2. But instead of me rambling on, let me show you how this will work. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to echo our names, and then we're going to have our two brackets, and inside of the brackets we're going to specify a number, and the number is going to be which value we want to echo. So let's say we want to echo value 1. So inside of this value, what do you think we're going to get? Give you a second to think it over. Now I'll refresh. If you said Josh, you were right. Why we didn't get Tony is because Tony is actually in the 0. So let's echo 0 and refresh the page, and as you can see, we get Tony. Now, you can also actually manually assign values to an array. For example, let's go ahead and get rid of this array. And let's do this. Equals Tony. And let's copy this twice more. And we'll have 1, and we'll have 2. And in here we'll put Josh, and here we'll put Kenny. And as you can see, now we have three values inside of an array. So how would we do this? Well, exactly the same way. We would pick one, and let's pick this one. And let's echo names 2, and we get Kenny. So there's two ways to actually set values inside of an array. I prefer the first one myself because it seems much easier to me, but it just depends on what you like. Now let's work with associative arrays. And let's see how much time we have. Oh, we have plenty of time. Looks like we'll get through this easily. So let's start with associative array. Well, associative array is a bit different and is actually more used than a numeric array. So let's see how this is set. So we're going to have an array, and we're going to call it, let's go with ages, and we're going to set it equal to, again, an array. Now, this array is kind of like you're going to have a value, you're going to have like a key, and then in this key you're going to have a value. So it's kind of going to be more or less more like a variable. You'll see what I mean. So let's have a name. Inside this name we'll have quotes, and now we'll have this, which is an equal sign and a bracket, and what this is saying is we're going to assign a value to Tony. So let's assign a value to Tony, and since this is named ages, let's assign an age. We'll have 19. Now, say we wanted to have another value in here. Well, simply enough, add a comma. And now we'll have Josh, and we want to assign Josh the value of 18. We'll have another comma, and we'll have Kenny, and since Kenny's a jackass, we're going to assign Kenny the value of 4. And that is how a associative array works. You have a value, you have what you want to assign the value, or I guess you would have a key, and you have what you would want to assign that key, kind of like what you do with variables. Except for now all of these can just be assigned in one simple variable, or one simple array. Now, how would we call these values? Well, this is why people like associative arrays, because you can call the values more in a more readable way. What does that mean? Well, we can call our ages, and of course we have our 2 brackets, and this time we can just manually call Tony. And let's echo Tony and see what we get. Echo ages Tony. Let's echo Tony, and we get 19. And you can see how that would be much easier. So let's echo something like Tony is, and we'll have 19. So now we have Tony is 19. And fix it as let's concatenate it. Anyway, we have Tony is 19, and we're going to get, hey, Tony is 19. You can also use the numeric value to call this array if you wish. So let's do age is 0, and that's not going to work because that's a string. Let's do this. Age is 0, refresh, and we get offset, undefined offset 0. Oh, okay. I did not actually know that, so I guess I learned something new in this video. I always thought you could do it that way, but apparently you cannot do it that way. Wow, I never knew that. That's eye-opening. Let me set this back. What error am I getting? I'm kind of new to NetBeans. Anyway, let's refresh it. And we have 19. So, I guess I learned something new. I had no idea that didn't work. And, yeah. I guess that's really all we need to know in arrays in this tutorial. We went over numeric arrays and associative arrays. This has been DontRTFM with your 9th PHP video tutorial. In this tutorial, everybody learned something, not just you. I hope you guys can comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me more than you know. And I will see you for your 10th PHP video tutorial. And in that tutorial, we'll be going over the while loop, which is something I think you'll enjoy. Bye.